Hey Sagittarius, it's Ryan Mock with The Psychic Lawyer. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've done a tarot card reading for you specifically, but I'm back today to do your lunar eclipse reading, and we're going to pull some tarot, and I'm going to talk about the astrology fairly quickly so you understand the context of where some of the cards are coming from. So Sagittarius, we have a lunar eclipse happening on March 25th. I'm doing this video on March 15th. We're still in Pisces season, but headed toward the equinox, the beginning of spring. So new beginnings, letting things go. Pisces is always about an ending. It's the end of the cycle for the sun. It's the natural 12th house. So we're wrapping things up. The lunar eclipse, it's a south node lunar eclipse, by the way, is going to happen in Libra, which is 11 signs past Sagittarius. The 11th house has to deal with your friends, your network circles, large organizations, your hopes, wishes, and dreams. And it's a little bit more of a detached house. The lunar eclipse will happen with the south node of the moon, K2. And K2 brings things down. It's about liberation, spirituality, and moksha. So when the moon is with K2 or the south node, the moon is eclipsed, and then that means the sun on the opposite side in Aries is with Rahu, the north node of the moon, which will also be eclipsed 2 weeks later on April 8th. So we have an Aries Libra axis being activated in your chart, and again, that's going to be the 11th house. And then Aries is 5 signs past Sag. The 5th house has to deal with passion, romance, romantic partners, children, and your education. So things are coming to a karmic completion with a group, with groups, your friends, and then romantic partners, children, and education. So those are the themes you can watch out for with this particular eclipse cycle. It's not going to be an easy one because we're starting out with the lunar eclipse, which means something is coming to light. It's basically a full moon on steroids, as I've heard it say from all our astrologers, and we all know this just from participating in eclipses our entire lives. They're big endings and big beginnings. So it's a karmic cycle coming to an end, and it happens to be in that 11th and 5th house. So watch for those particular themes as we move forward. Now, Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus will be in her exaltation of Pisces at the time of this eclipse. And exaltation, debilitation, let me explain this a little bit. When Venus is in her exalted spot of Pisces, she's feeling compassionate, empathetic, spiritual. But remember, Pisces is the 12th house. It's a hidden house overall. All water signs are hidden. And it's the end. It's a completion. It's formlessness. Pisces is often associated with the depths of water, seawater, dissolving. Remember that this has a lot to do with dissolving. And it's the two fishes swimming in opposite directions. So it's karmic cycle, but it's also recycling. It's an ending and a resurrection. So remember that. With endings come new beginnings. But Pisces, first and foremost, is about sacrifice. Something has to be given up. Something has to be offered to the gods, offered to the universe, so something new can come in. It's clearing the old so new growth can happen. And that sometimes eclipses do that for us. Other times we do it on our own volition because we recognize something has come to an end. The south node of the moon, which is going to be with the moon in Libra, takes things down, okay? So it's going to take growth down. We might see some economic things happen. But overall, it really does have to do with your partnerships. So sun and moon are always about relationships. They're on opposite sides of each other. It means there's tension happening. And something has to come to an end. So look to romantic partnerships, children, education. Maybe you're finishing up an education program. Moon, Cancer. The moon rules Cancer. That's your 8th house. The 8th house has to deal with taxes, joint ventures, sometimes upheaval, and major health crises too. So the 8th house can be difficult. It's a house of transformation, and it has to deal with home. It has to deal with family, your foundation. But it's what moon indicates in and of itself. And then sun has to do with your individuality. It has to do with the ideal form, going for what it is you want. So there's always this tension, especially in Aries, which is individualistic to begin with, and can be argumentative, among other things. So remember, that could be tensions with loved ones, arguments, things coming to a karmic close. So this isn't necessarily an easy eclipse. And maybe you're moving, maybe you're changing residence, maybe you're trying to figure out, the other thing is with that 8th house, it's also your partner's money. So maybe you're thinking about loans, mortgages, refinancing, things like that. So these themes can come up for you, Sagittarius, over the next 10 days. So it's an ending followed by that lunar eclipse 2 weeks later. Then we go to the solar eclipse in your 5th house in Aries. And there is the darkening of the light. So it's not necessarily an easy one either, because things aren't necessarily revealed. The light is hidden from us until the next eclipse cycle in October. So the next 6 months will be a little precarious, but it has to do with formlessness. Venus, she wants to free herself in Pisces of her binds, of the things that bind her, essentially. She wants freedom in Pisces. It is an ethereal sign. If you want to think of Pisces overall, it's everything in the atmosphere above the ozone. It's limitless, right? It's very dark. Not really sure what's in there. It's where the gods reside. So remember, the universe is at work here, and taking things out that need to be taken out for new growth to happen. So that is the theme. And look to your group associations, friends, loved one, romantic partners, children, education. Also look to health. Your ruler, Jupiter, is in Taurus, and that is your 6th house of conflict, divorce, health, routine, pets. It's also a sign of healing too. So the 6th house can be difficult. Servitude, things. Look to your daily routine. The way out is through your daily routine and cleaning up your health routine. All right, Sag, I'm going to pull 4 cards from the Tarot, and then 1 card from the Angels Oracle deck to see what's happening with you. Here we go. First card out. Ace of Pentacles. Potentially an offer of some type. Ace of Cups, another one. Wow, 2 aces right in a row. Ooh, the Tower. We'll talk about this. Your ruler, Jupiter, is with Uranus. Uranus is the Great Awakener. It rules electricity. Here it is. Something needs to. We'll talk about this card, but it has to do with foundations. We talked about that. Cancer is a foundational house, and Moon rules Cancer. Sun and Moon are always involved in these eclipses, so we'll talk about this. And then, here's your card, Temperance. So I'm glad to see this at the very end. This is a healing card. It's a rebalance. So let's talk about this. You're trying to start something new, right? You have 2 aces. These are new cycles, so things are coming to an end. You're trying to bring things to a culmination. That's always eclipses, but it's also new beginnings. So it's new beginnings with money, your resources, stability. Pentacles are stability. Pentacles also represent power. So this is the universe holding this out for you. It's a new cycle overall. You might be starting something on your own. Remember, joint ventures, that 8th house is implicated too, and that has to do with yours, what's yours and what's mine. So it's division. Sometimes that 8th house can cause a lot of fights. Trying to figure out joint finances, perhaps. That's what this card represents. And it's also an emotional new beginning on top of it, right? Because the Ace of Cups is very much a card of fulfillment. It's a new beginning as it relates to the depths of water. And remember what water does here. Water dissolves. We want to flush things out with eclipses so we can bring in something new. For whatever reason, I'm getting that phrase, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Maybe the baby just needs a bath. Clean it out. Here's the thing, though. This is going to require a little bit of a shakeup, and your ruler, Jupiter, is with the Great Awakener, Uranus. And Uranus is shock. It can be shock and awe. It's pointing to something that's not stable. So here is stability, right? This Ace of Pentacles is that new cycle of stability, and it brings with it some emotional stability as well, a new cycle. But you need to look at the foundation. This could be the house. This could be a relationship. Is it sound? Are you practicing relationship skills that encourage a solid foundation of truth, a solid foundation of finance, and a solid foundation of mutual respect and love? It's really what it comes down to. And universe might be showing you where there is a lack of that through the Tower. Now, what I like about the reading, and this lunar eclipse cycle is going to be hard, okay? We start with an ending to go to the new moon, which is an eclipse as well, but we don't have all the information. So what universe is saying is it's a rebalance, right? This is temperance. If you're taking things too far, Sag, too much, Jupiter is a karaka, or an indication of too much. So whenever I talk to people about their charts, wherever Jupiter's sitting, I always say too much. You need to bring it back, tap into that Saturn energy, and restrain a little bit. So this is saying rebalance the waters here. So this could be drinking for some of you. Something about water needs to be rebalanced. Maybe your emotions need to be rebalanced here. But there is an element of taking a bath, okay? Flushing it out. The angel has one foot in the water, which is an indication of coming back to spirituality. And then it's a rebalancing of the emotions. And then the crown appears, right? And then it's a victory of some sort. Universe is guiding you to this. But it could be a little bit of a shock. Let's take a look at what's underneath the deck. High Priestess. High Priestess is Moon. You see Moon sitting here. We're at the crescent moon right now. I'm doing this video on March 15th. This might be an unexpected pregnancy, pomegranates and back for some of you. Some of you need to go talk to a tarot card reader. I'm not taking personal readings right now, unfortunately, but this is saying get in touch with your intuition. It's not leading you wrong. If you already know what your body is saying, if your body is telling you no, you need to pay attention to your body. But some of you might be pregnant unexpectedly. Or you could get pregnant unexpectedly. So remember that too, because this involves romantic partnerships. So there's a little bit of secrecy with the High Priestess overall, but it's saying follow your intuition. What is your intuition saying? Let's see what the angels oracles say. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So remember when I was saying that 6th house is being activated because that's where your ruler Jupiter is sitting. It's in Taurus right now, 6 signs past Sagittarius. That 6th house is a house of conflict. It's a house of servitude. It's your daily routine, and it's saying release your ex. Something new wants to come in. It's time to rebalance. The 6th house sometimes is a house of divorce. It's saying it's time to let all of that go. It's cord cutting. Okay. That's what Libra, where this lunar eclipse is going to occur. Libra is a sign of partnerships, balance. I know a lot of times we talk about balance. If you have something in Libra, it means something is probably imbalanced and you need to rebalance here, okay? It has to do with emotions. There's something that needs rebalancing here. And we're in Pisces season. Pisces is often associated with drugs and alcohol, okay? And sex. So it's just kind of the reality of the situation. It's those things. It's that 12th house. It's self-sabotage. So remember, we're dealing with how we self-sabotage ourselves. So take a deep breath, step back, and release the past, okay? Sag, you are the eternal optimist. You can get through anything, but remember, if it's too much, it means you're not being balanced. So this is your card. You're in your own reading here, so it's time to let it go. New things are on its way when you release the X. Leave me a comment, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you like these videos. I would love to hear how this all plays out for you, Sag. I always wish you the best. Talk to you later.